Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto got banished and got harem with Temari, Hotaru and Shizuka. Part 5. If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. As Naruto, Kakashi, Sakura, and Chio followed Pakkun through the forest, Chio spoke to Kakashi. Who is this Naruto lad and why is he more determined to rescue Gaara than anybody else here? Naruto and Gaara are birds of a feather. They grew up the same kind of life because what happened to Gaara also happened to Naruto. Kakashi explained. I see. Chio squinted as she looked ahead at Naruto, who wasn't even looking back, so he carries one as well. Yes, he is the Jinchuriki to the Kyuubi. He was once a Konoha shinobi until our biased council overpowered our Hokage's authority and banished him. Kakashi continued explaining. Oh dear. Yes, for 3 years he's been living on his own. We didn't know how he'd managed to find a way to make a living, but since we last saw him a while ago he proved us all that he was more capable than we gave him credit. Kakashi explained as they continued heading for the river country. Meanwhile at the Akatsuki lair, the group was still in the process of sealing the Ichibi into the statue until Zetsu spoke up. I've caught wind of intruders coming our way. Who is it? Pain asked. Kakashi Hatake, with him is his student Sakura Haruno, elder Chio of Suna. Zetsu answered as Sasori's attention was caught upon hearing the woman's name, and what's more, Naruto Uzumaki is among them. Naruto? Itachi asked. Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? Kisame chuckled. Ugh, well, ain't this a pain in the... Haiden grumbled. If they reach our hideout they'll disrupt the ceiling. Sasori said. What can we do? Kakuzu asked. Do not panic, we'll just have to send someone to deal with them. Pain instructed. If that's the case then let me, since I haven't found my Jinchuriki yet. Haiden offered. No Haiden, against the Kyuubi Jinchuriki Kisame and I are the ones who can truly capture him without turning things into an all-out slaughter. Itachi replied. And how are we going to do that, since we're even further away from this land? Kisame asked. Then you'll just have to induct that jutsu. Pain answered. But to use that jutsu we will require human sacrifices. Kisame noted. That shouldn't be a problem. Sasori answered, knowing who to let them use for whatever jutsu they'd have to use. Back with the good guys, they were reaching the edge of the forest until Kakashi spoke. Guys, I'm sensing something up ahead. I do too. Chio added. What is it? Sakura asked. We're about to find out. Naruto said as they reached the edge of the forest and to their surprise saw Itachi, Uchiha and Kisame Hoshigaki standing before them. Great. Kakashi sighed. Naruto frowned seeing the two while Sakura gazed at Itachi. Those eyes, they're the same as Sasuke's. So that's him, Itachi Uchiha, murderer of the Uchiha clan, the one Sasuke aimed to kill. Well, what have we here? Kisame snickered. It's been a long time. Itachi added. I recognize these two from the bingo book. Chio began. Itachi Uchiha, Nukenin of Konoha, wanted for murder of his own clan, and Kisame Hoshigaki, Nukenin of Kiri, an ex-member of the disbanded generation of the Seven Swordsmen, wanted for attempted murder of the feudal lord of Kiri. And they're both members of the Akatsuki. Naruto frowned, recalling the last time he met them. He was powerless to stand up to either of them. Naruto, you look like you've grown up well for a banished ninja. Itachi noted. A lot of things have happened to me, Itachi. Things you or any member of the Akatsuki would quiver in fear. Naruto growled. Isn't that cute? He's learned to talk tough, Itachi. Kisame chuckled. Sakura, Chio, be careful, these two are dangerous, Kakashi began, and Naruto. We're wasting time. Naruto screamed as he thrusted his arms forward and crushed Itachi and Kisame, sending blood everywhere, shocking everyone. Naruto. Sakura gasped. Well, so much for the prodigy of the great Uchiha clan. Naruto mocked the corpse until he got a closer look at the two members he just murdered. What the? Sakura, Kakashi, Chio, and Pac-kun raced over seeing it wasn't really Itachi or Kisame, but two different men wearing the Akatsuki robes, fakes. Sakura asked. I don't understand it, but these two still had traces of Itachi's and Kisame's chakra. There's no mistaking that. Kakashi noted. Wait a minute, Chio began looking down at one of the deceased fakes. I know this one. He's Yura of Suna's advisory council. He's probably the reason how the Akatsuki were able to get into the village that night so easily. Well, we weeded out their spy. Naruto said. I better transfer this data back to the village. Chio said as she opened up a scroll and released from it was a yellow mechanical bird. After writing down what she learned, she placed in the bird's possession and wound it up before it flew off back to Suna. We have to hurry. Time's running out. Naruto called as they continued following the trail leaving behind the two corpses. As they left, Zetsu emerged from the ground. Well, that didn't go as well as we hoped. Zetsu said to himself as his white half spoke. Indeed, how the boy was able to take them down with just throwing his hands out is beyond belief. Obviously he's changed a lot. We should alert this to the others. After I have my snack. Black Zetsu said as he looked at the two corpses. Back at the Akatsuki lair, Itachi and Kisame's astral forms reappeared. What happened? You weren't gone that long. Pain noted. The Shouten no Jutsu, shape-changing technique, was a failure. You wouldn't believe what just happened to us. Kisame began. It better be a reasonable story, because even though the bodies you used as hosts were only given a small portion of your chakra, we expected you to have held them off even for 30 minutes at least. Pain said. Naruto, he held his hands out and crushed our bodies without even laying a finger on us. Kisame explained. What, that's the best excuse you guys can come up with? Deidara asked. I know it sounds incomprehensive, but it's true, Itachi added. I don't know how he was able to do what we did, but he did it anyway. What a load of shit. Haiden replied. He speaks the truth, Zetsu appeared. I saw the whole thing with my own eyes. Whatever Naruto did, was not something we could have been prepared for. No matter, the ceiling will almost be completed. We'll just have to make sure they don't make it in time. Conan said. Not to worry, they won't get past the barrier. Pain assured her. As the ninja followed Pac-kun, they reached the sealed-off cave in the river country. There it is behind there. The dog motioned to the closed-off cave. Good work, Pac-kun, we'll take it all from here now. Kakashi said as Pac-kun poofed away. The cave is plugged up, how are we going to get inside? Chio asked. I'll break it open. Sakura said, putting on her gloves until Kakashi halted her. Hold it, Sakura, take a look at that. He motioned to a ceiling tag on the cave's blocked entrance. What is it? The girl asked. A ceiling barrier, I know of this type, the Cyclops began, it's a 5-seal one. Which means there are 4 more tags around here, and simply removing one will not break it, they all must be removed at the same time. How can we find them? Sakura asked. The other 4 can't be as far from the one right here, they'd have to be at least a few hundred meters of each other. There's more to this barrier than that, Naruto put in, even if we found all of them I doubt removing them together will be the end of it. So this will require my expertise in sealing jutsu. Naruto looked through his scrolls and pulled out 5 sealing tags, this will help us. What will those do? Kakashi asked. These will negate any backup defenses the tags have once they've been removed, Naruto explained as he summoned a dozen clones. Split up and find the other 4 tags, he ordered as they all split up to look for them. When they find the tags, I'll know. That's very impressive for one so young. Chio admitted. Thanks, Chiobazan, Naruto replied until he felt his clones dispel and acquired the 4 other tags' locations. We got our tags. He summoned another 4 clones and handed them 4 of his tags. Place these on the other tags. He ordered and the 4 clones took off. Naruto placed the 1 tag on the cave's tag. Alright Sakura, tags are in place and the entrance is ready for an opening. Naruto stepped aside. Back inside the cave, moments before Naruto started his procedure with locating the tags. The sealing process was just completed as the Shikaku was finally pulled into the hell statue and Gaara fell to the ground lifeless. Well, that went well. Deidara said. Finished just in time, those Konoha flunkies are right outside. Zetsu said. So what do we do? Sasori awaited orders. You and Deidara are the only ones physically there, deal with them however you choose. Pain answered. No sweat. Deidara smirked. Alright, we're done here. It's time to go. Pain said as his and the other astral forms vanished, leaving Sasori and Deidara with Gaara's corpse and the hell statue poofed away. We'll get the drop on them. Deidara smirked as his hands reached into some pouches on his sides and the mouths in his palms started chewing up some clay. Back outside, Sakura threw her arm back and ran for the entrance, CHA. She slugged the boulder and it burst into pieces. When they looked inside they saw the two Akatsuki members standing by Gaara's corpse. What took you guys so long? Deidara asked with a smirk. Chio looked at the other one in shock as the legendary puppet master spoke. Well, Grandma Chio. Still breathing, I see. Sasori, is that really you? Chio asked. They spotted Gaara on the ground. Gaara? Gaara, are you okay? Naruto called. Deidara chuckled, don't waste your breath, Gaki. Your voice can no longer reach him where he is now. Naruto looked at Gaara's body, realizing he wasn't moving. No, it can't be. Gaara's actually... Sakura gasped. Naruto frowned and growled at the two, you bastards will pay for this. He was about to use his power to crush them only for two white giant centipedes made from Deidara's clay to burst out of the ground and wrap themselves around his legs. Gotcha. Deidara called as the centipedes on Naruto's legs detonated on him, filling the area around them with smoke. Deidara, take the body and flee. I'll deal with them. Sasori instructed. What? You get all the fun. Deidara complained. Just do it. Fine, geez. Deidara sighed as his palm spat up a small clay bird that suddenly grew bigger in size, like the one he used when he attacked Gaara. The bird absorbed Gaara through its mouth. When the guys recovered from the blast, Deidara took off on his bird. There he goes. Sakura gasped. Gaara. Naruto called, seeing Gaara wasn't there anymore, and deduced Deidara took him. I'm going after him. Naruto took off flying after the bomber. Naruto. Sakura called. He'll be fine, Sakura, right now he's our focus. Kakashi motioned to Sasori, who looked ready to fight. Meanwhile, Naruto had been flying after Deidara, who looked back, seeing the boy flying after him. What the hell? He gasped. You're not the only one who can go aerial. Naruto shouted. But betcha I'm the only one who can do this. Deidara launched 3 clay spiders right for Naruto, only for him to use his powers to throw their aim off course and missed him. What? Nice try, bomber, now you've earned a taste of punishment. Naruto sped up before landing on the giant bird and fought with Deidara, throwing a punch to his gut, but suddenly found his arm being absorbed into it. What the hell? Suddenly Deidara started turning white, revealing to have been a clone made from clay. Emerging from the bird was the real Deidara. You fell right for it. Neat trick, now here's one of my own. Naruto replied as he concentrated and entered Sage mode. What the? Deidara noticed Naruto's eyes change. With the extra strength, Naruto pulled his arm out of the clay clone. And you're next. He used his power to pull Deidara up to him, where he slugged him in the face, sending him plummeting off the bird. Gaara. Naruto called as he used his power to open the bird up, seeing Gaara's corpse inside. He pulled it out and summoned a clone. Take Gaara to safety. The clone nodded before taking Gaara and flying off to the ground level. He looked, and to his surprise saw Deidara flying on another giant clay bird, Kai. He activated a hand sign and the bird Naruto was standing on exploded, but Naruto launched up like a rocket so he wouldn't get caught in the detonation. Naruto looked over, seeing the tongues coming out of the mouths in Deidara's palms. Those arms of yours allow you to create all these clay bombs, aren't they? Naruto asked. Well, let's see how good you are at making bombs without them. He held his arms out, making Deidara's arms spread out. As he forcefully threw his arms apart, Deidara's arms ripped out of their sockets and off his body, leaving the Akatsuki member screaming in agonizing pain. "Oh Kami, my arms. Hurts like SOB, doesn't it?" Naruto smirked. The Jinchuriki then held out his right hand, conjuring his Rasengan that was gigantic. He used his left hand to pull Deidara off his bird and was heading right for him. "Try this jutsu. Senpu, Cho Utama Rasengan, Sage Art, Ultra Big Ball Spiral Sphere." When Deidara was slammed into the jutsu, he was sent hurtling towards his clay bird, crashing into it as it started falling before landing in the forest down below. Now to finish him. He flew down for the forest and found Deidara crashed onto his bird. "Just what the hell are you?" Deidara growled. "I am Nuknin's worst nightmare," he said, preparing to finish him, only for Deidara to spin around and take a bite out of his clay bird. "Did you just eat clay with your real mouth?" "Yes. And I'm gonna take you down with me," Deidara announced as his body looked like it was beginning to inflate. Naruto was confused until Kurama thought to him, "Naruto, get out of there. He's gonna blow up." Naruto, taking Kurama's advice, took off from the area as Deidara exploded, and with his bird still there, ended up detonating as well, resulting in a bigger explosion. The force from the explosion sent Naruto flying further while he was flying away from it. Once he reached the edge of the forest, he panted. "That was close. So it appears he self-destructed himself attempting to take you out." His efforts were all for nothing, he thought, until suddenly he saw his clone carry Gaara over to him. "Good work." He dispelled his clone and looked down upon Gaara's lifeless body. "Gaara, look what they did to you." He put his hands on Gaara's head and started shedding some tears. "Man, I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry." His tears fell upon Gaara's face. "Naruto." Naruto lifted his head up, seeing Sakura, Kakashi, and Chio all beat up approaching him. "Guys, we saw the explosion and ran right over." "What happened?" Kakashi asked. "I got Gaara back, and the guy blew himself up," he explained. "What about you guys?" "Well, it was a tough fight, but we managed to defeat Sasori," Sakura explained. Naruto smiled but remembered they were still too late. "We better go." So they headed back, reaching Suna. Soon Kankuro, Temari, Baki, Pakura, and several Suna ninja were surrounding Gaara, who was sat on a bed. "Gaara!" Temari cried. "This can't be." Kankuro was sad. "Our Kazika-gi!" Another shinobi cried. "Poor guy," Pakura said. "Why'd it have to end like this for him?" Naruto shed some tears. Chio looked at Gaara before she nodded to herself, approaching him. "It doesn't have to." "Elder Chio?" Baki asked. "I know what to do for our Kazika-gi," Chio said as her hand started glowing, surprising the ninja. "Lady Chio!" Kankuro gasped. "If you use that technique you'll end up." Baki was halted by her holding her hand out, signaling him to be silent. "I'm well aware of the consequences, Baki. You forget I developed the jutsu." "What's she doing?" Kakashi asked. Temari answered, "A special type of healing jutsu she invented. She can transfer her own life force into someone who is dead, restoring them to life, but at the cost of the users." Sakura was in shock. "But then she'll die." "Yeah, she's only used this jutsu on those who've only been close to death, therefore she never has transferred all of her life energy," Kankuro said. "Well, this time I will. This village needs its Kazika-gi, and besides I have a debt to repay," the elder explained. "A debt?" Naruto asked. "Yes, for I was the one ordered by the Yondai Mei Kazika-gi to seal the Shikaku inside Gaara, therefore I'm partly to blame for making him the monster he once was. But now it's time I made amends. Gaara, I'm sorry." She held her hands over Gaara and started transferring her own life energy. Soon Chio started losing consciousness and fell backwards into Baki and Kankuro, who sat her aside. Gaara slowly opened his eyes, seeing everyone around him. What happened?" "Gaara!" Temari cried. Gaara looked around, seeing everyone, until his focus stopped by Naruto and his friends. "Naruto. How ya feeling, G?" "A little light-headed but better now," he noticed Chio. Why is Lady Chio sleeping, or is she playing possum like she's been known for? Gaara, Lady Chio gave up her life to restore yours. Kankuro answered. I see. Gaara looked at her smiling. Arigato Lady Chio. Meanwhile back in the Akatsuki lair, the cave's roof was blasted open and the cave was in shambles. Zetsu was looking over what appeared to be a puppet body of a red-haired young man, so this is Sasori's true form. He pondered. Hey! Hey! Over here Mr. Zetsu. I found it. A jovially voice called out. Zetsu looked over and a man with short dark-haired man, wearing an orange spiral-styled mask with an eye hole on the right side, and was decked out in black. He was sitting down while looking at Sasori's ring which he removed from another puppet. Maybe now I can become a member of the Akatsuki, huh? After all there's an open spot now, right? The figure asked while flipping the ring into the air. Baka. It's not that easy. Black Zetsu grumbled. Oh, give him a break, White Zetsu began, after all Toby is a good boy. The guy identified as Toby accidentally dropped the ring into the pile of rocks. Oh no. He tried to reach in for it. We're going now. Zetsu said as he started walking. Wait a minute Mr. Zetsu, please. Toby was reaching through the rocks. It's right here, somewhere. I'm sure I can get it. He noticed Zetsu still walking off. No wait. Mr. Zetsu, please don't leave. Elsewhere Deidara burst up from the ground looking like a total mess. Damn it. If I hadn't swapped with that exploding clone before the Gaki arrived I would have been totaled. And now I gotta find my damn arms. He stormed off. Back in Suna, everyone was briefed on their Kazika-gi's rescue, along with the death of Chio. That afternoon all of Suna was gathered before a memorial dedicating to her with Gaara delivering the speech. We're gathered here to pay our respects to Lady Chio, a well-respected kunoichi that served Suna for many years. Though she's dead her spirit will live on in each of us as long as we remember her and honor her sacrifice. Everyone nodded as they each placed a rose by her grave including Naruto, Kakashi, and Sakura. As Sakura did the girl thought, Lady Chio, thank you for being such an inspiration on me. As time went by Gaara, his sibs, Pakura, and Naruto stood opposite of Kakashi and Sakura. Well, we better get home now. Kakashi said. Have a safe trip home. Kankuro said. And thank you for everything. Temari added. Until we meet again. Gaara added. What about you Naruto, are you taking off as well? Sakura asked. No, I'm gonna stick around here until things get back to normal, Naruto explained, besides I was due for a visit here anyway. Well, hope to see you again someday. Kakashi said as the two Konoha shinobi took off. Naruto smiled as he watched his two old teammates leave until he turned to face Gaara who also turned to him. Naruto, thank you for what you did for me. No problem, you may not be a Jinchuriki anymore, but you and I will always have that special bond. He extended his hand and Gaara shook it with both boys smiling. Meanwhile somewhere in the forest, Toby and Zetsu stumbled upon one of Deidara's arms. Well, what do you know? Toby began, looks like Deidara's a goner too. Blew himself to bits from the looks of it. Don't you think Mr. Zetsu? He picked the arm up, there are probably body parts scattered all over here. He laughed. Get your hands off that, Baka. Deidara called as he approached. Hey, he's alive. Toby cheered. Where's the Jinchuriki? Zetsu asked. Don't look at me. I did my job. He panted from exhaustion. My, you must have had a close shave, huh? But you're still in one piece. Oops, sorry. Toby said, realizing the joke he made. Deidara frowned. Toby, even the Buddha loses patience when insulted a third time. One more word and there will be no doubt about the cause of your death. You're just going to bomb me to death, right? Toby asked. That was the third one. Zetsu warned him. Deidara suddenly strangled Toby with his legs while lying on the ground. Toby struggled to break free as Deidara announced, death by suffocation. Zetsu shook his head in embarrassment. The boss isn't going to like this. That night in Suna, Naruto was set up in a spare bedroom at the administration building. He laid on the bed gazing up at the ceiling deep in thought. Man, this was a wild day. Dealing with two members of the Akatsuki and running into Itachi and Kisame as well, part of them at least. Indeed, and now that they've started acting, it'll be a matter of time before they start targeting others like Uchiha and Fu. I know, I better send a message to them to be wary when they step out of the village. Naruto then heard a knock at his room's door and spoke, "Yes. Can we come in, Naruto?" He recognized it as Temari's voice, of course. The door opened and entering the room was both Temari and Pakura, who closed the door. "Evening, Naruto." Pakura said. "Evening," he replied. "How's everything going with the council, Temari?" "Doing better, we're now looking for someone to fill in Yura's spot on the council." The Wind Girl explained. "Hopefully you get someone who's not an undercover agent." Naruto replied. "No kidding." Temari agreed. "So any reason you girls came over here?" "Well, as your hosts, it's important that we see that our guest is happy." Pakura explained. "Well, I am feeling pretty happy right now," Naruto admitted. "Good, because we're gonna make you even happier," Temari said as she locked the door. "Girls?" Temari and Pakura smirked, and to Naruto's surprise they started disrobing right before him. Naruto gazed in wonder, seeing the two hot Suna Kunoichi stand before him in the buff, and could already feel a boner forming in his pants. Although he truly wasn't surprised by their hotness, since this wasn't their first time doing it over the course of 3 years since they met. The girls went even further by undoing their hairstyles, letting their hair flow. "How do we look, Naruto?" Pakura asked as she and Temari posed seductively for him. "Devilishly sexy as always," he admitted with a smirk. "Good reply, now then lose it all so we can begin," Temari instructed. "You two want to have sex with your guest in spite of what just happened today. What would your Kazekage think? What Gaara doesn't know won't hurt him," the Wind Kunoichi answered. "Besides, this is our way of thanking you for bringing him back," Pakura added. "Well, in that case," Naruto replied as he started throwing off his gear as well and was soon sitting on the bed in the nude. "Still as hot as always, Naruto," Pakura smirked. "Sweetie, you ain't seen anything yet," he replied. "So then why don't you illuminate us?" Temari suggested as the two ladies crawled onto his bed. "Delighted," Naruto said as he summoned a single shadow clone. Soon the real Naruto was making out with Pakura while the clone made out with Temari. As Naruto and Pakura lip-locked, the redhead boy was feeling up the scorched Kunoichi's ass, while said Kunoichi was pressing her fists into his chest. Between kisses Pakura spoke, "Oh, this never gets boring." Pakura panted as their tongues battled. "For real," Naruto agreed as his tongue battled hers as they lip-locked. As Temari and Naruto's clone made out, the fan using girl moaned from the groping on her tight ass. "This ass of yours is amazing, Temari. I'm glad you love it," she said as they continued making out. When Pakura and Naruto broke lip contact, the woman spoke, "All right, Naruto, it's time for me to give you a little well-earned pleasure." She rubbed her fists together. "Mother of Kami." Naruto panted and soon found his manhood surrounded by the valley of Pakura's fists, and the Suna Kunoichi started rubbing them around the throbbing length. "How is it, Naruto?" "It's freakin' awesome," Naruto declared as was panting from the excitement and feeling. "I'm gonna make a lot come out of you," Pakura promised as she sped up the procedure while Naruto was slowly losing control. "Kami, Pakura, I'm gonna." He didn't even finish his sentence as he released his load right onto the scorch user. "Heavenly," Pakura said as she started cleaning herself up with her tongue. "Thanks for the tit fuck, now how about I return the favor?" Naruto offered. "Please, Naruto, pleasure me to your heart's content," Pakura answered. "Perfect," Naruto said as he made another clone that got in front of Pakura, sticking his length out before her. The real Naruto stuck his manhood through her fast, making her moan. Okay, Naruto. I'm ready. She said as she engulfed the clone's length into her mouth and started sucking on it while the Naruto in back was thrusting in and out through her face. Pakura, your face feels so tight. Pakura couldn't even respond as she was too busy sucking away the clone's beep. Naruto started moving his length around as it was rubbing against her inner walls, making her eyes water from the painful pleasure. Pakura, I feel it ready to come. Naruto in back called. So do I. The clone added, and soon both released their juices into Pakura from both sides. Pakura, holding the load into her mouth, swallowed it. Magnificent Naruto. You are a wonder. You're an even bigger wonder, Pakura. Naruto smirked. I may very well have to bring Maki in next time. She added. Maki? Your student? Well, that would be awkward. I mean, she's not into me, is she? Actually, you'd be surprised. Whenever we'd have our rounds during your previous visits, she would occasionally ask me how it was. I got a feeling she's curious about you. She smirked. Well, ain't that a surprise? He asked in amusement. At the same time they were enjoying their round, Temari and Naruto's clone were also engaging in pleasurable intercourse. The clone had his length inside Temari through her womanhood and he was riding her like a horse. Oh Kami, Naruto. You love it, Temari, say it. The clone ordered as he held her legs up for her. I love it, Naruto. She cried. You're damn right you do. Naruto's clone called as Temari climaxed. Naruto, that was wonderful, Temari panted as Naruto's clone took his length out of her. Now please let me give you your reward for helping us today. She got down on all fours and engulfed his length into his mouth and started bobbing it. The clone started panting from the overwhelming feeling, while also enjoying it. Keep working that mouth, Temari. The clone panted. As Temari continued to do her thing, she thought, Naruto, for what you did for Gaara and the rest of us, you deserve every bit of pleasure I can provide for you. The clone panted and spoke, Temari, I think I'm about ready to. Temari, hearing that, started bobbing her head even faster, determined to make him release it. Kami, here it comes. The clone finally released his load into Temari's mouth, and the girl swallowed it in one gulp. Within 2 hours Naruto had dispelled his clones with all their experience transferred to him. He laid under the covers with Pakura on his left and Temari on his right, both snuggling up to him. Well girls, this was quite a round. Yeah, you always know how to pleasure us in all the right ways. Temari admitted. And that's a fact. Pakura added. Thanks for the fun tonight girls, I needed it. So did we, after all the tension we've been having since Gaara was abducted. Temari replied. Well, he's back and better than ever. The redhead replied. All thanks to you. Pakura said. I can't take all the credit, after all Chiyoba-san was the one who brought him back to life. Both of your efforts were essential in bringing Gaara back. Temari agreed. Yeah, so here's to Chiyoba-san. To Chiyoba-san. They agreed and giggled. Good night girls. Good night Naruto. They said as the three fell asleep, knowing they would sleep peacefully, knowing all is well. Traveling through a forest was a group of 5 shinobi who each wore a headband with the symbol of Kumogakure. The group of 5 was composed of 2 adults and 3 teenagers. The first adult was a man with dark skin and a muscular build, as well as white hair and a goatee. On his right shoulder was a tattoo of the kanji for iron, and on his left cheek, he had a tattoo of a bull's horn. His attire included oval-shaped sunglasses and a white-colored forehead protector. He also had Kumo's standard one-strap-over-one shoulder flak jacket, and a long, red rope belt tied around his waist, the standard Kumo hand and shin guards, shinobi sandals, and a white scarf around his neck. On his back were 7 sheathed swords. The second adult was a woman with long, straight, blonde, hair bound with taut bandages and dark eyes. She wore a short-sleeved black and purple blouse and black pants, both of which had a design similar to clouds on them, purple fingerless gloves and a chain of white beads wound around her left hand. She also wore the standard Kumo forehead protector, sandals, and a kunai holster which was strapped to her right thigh. She also wore bandages around her arms and legs as well as a red belt around her waist. The first of the teenagers was a fair-skinned woman with a tall stature who had a stoic, aloof expression on her face, and a very impressive bust. She had blue eyes and straight, blonde hair framing her face cut in an asymmetrical bob style with the front bangs reaching her shoulders. She wore a very low-cut outfit that displayed her sizable cleavage, with mesh armor underneath, a short skirt and red hand guards, high boots, and a modified Kumo flak jacket that covered her stomach only, similar to a girdle. The second of the teens was a boy with dark skin, short and spiky white hair, and dark eyes accentuated with lines curving upwards from the corners. He wore a dark outfit consisting of an overlong shirt with a hood, with red bandage hand guards, Kumo shin guards, and a black forehead protector. On his back was a long sword. What was most notable about him was he was sucking on a lollipop. The third of the teens was a girl with dark skin, long red hair, and amber eyes. She wore a long, short-sleeved dress with frilly edges complete with the Kumo jacket, 2 simple yellow earrings, fishnet stockings, thigh boots with white soles and a forehead protector worn like a bandana. On her back was a long sword. The next town should be right outside this forest. The blonde adult said to the 3 younger shinobi. "All right, Ujito." The younger blonde-haired girl answered. "Oh man, but anything could happen to us out here before we even reach the town," the white-haired young boy started worrying. "We could get ambushed by enemy ninja and one of us ends up getting hurt. Then we'd have to carry them the rest of the way, but then tell us to go on without them." The red-haired girl sighed in irritation. "Omoy, you're thinking too much again." "Sorry Karui, but these things just come to me." The boy Omoy answered. "Omoy." The adult man spun around facing him, fretting like a baby is just not right. "Worrying too much will give yourself a fright." "Yes B-sensei." Omoy answered. As the 5 continued on Ujito stopped. "Ujito, what's up?" Karui asked. "I feel a strange presence close to us." She answered. "I feel it too." B admitted. "What could it be?" Samui asked. "I don't know, but move carefully and stay alert." Ujito ordered as they continued on, prepared to attack if they were ambushed. "I knew something like this would happen." Omoy whispered only for Karui to whack the back of his head, shutting him up. They continued on until they started hearing the sound of flowing water, a waterfall. Samui recognized. They followed the sound and saw a waterfall up ahead. What caught their attention the most was someone was bathing in the creek with their back facing them. They saw the person had short red hair, and his waist was under the water. They kept themselves hidden as they heard the bather humming to himself. He spread his arms and spun around in the water while looking up at the sky. The Kumo shinobi continued observing him. "Who is that?" Omoy asked. "I don't know." Samui replied. Karui blushed but kept her normal demeanor. "We should go." "Hold on, that presence Ujito and I felt is coming from him." B noted. "And it's familiar." Ujito added. "It should, after all it's like with us and B." A female voice said in her mind. "You mean?" Ujito thought back to the second voice. "Yes, that boy is a Jinchuriki." B, who was also silent, had been talking to another voice in his head as well, so he got 1 OU2. "Yes, and it is the Kyubi no Kitsune, or Kurama." "What should we do?" B asked his own demon. "I personally say we go communicate with him. After all, how often do you and Ujito get the chance to meet other humans who have been blessed with Biju like Matatabi and myself?" "Well, I see your point, Gyuki." B and Ujito turned to the other 3. "We're going in, but not to attack him." Ujito ordered. "What?" Karui gasped in outrage. "But what if he attacks us?" Omoy asked. "Omoy, Karui, cool it and listen to their orders." Samui ordered them. The shinobi reluctantly followed their superior's orders by sneaking in closer towards Naruto. Naruto meanwhile continued to bathe until he heard Kurama. "Naruto, we got company behind you, but I got a feeling they're not planning to attack us." Naruto, taking his Biju's words, spun around seeing the five and shrieked, "Crikey! Can't a guy take a bath in peace?" He lowered himself further into the water so he was neck high. "Sorry. So sorry, we didn't mean to intrude on your private time." Omoi waved his hands around. "Take it easy. We mean you no harm." Yujito held her hands out. Naruto eyed their headband symbol and thought, "Kumo ninja. Just my luck." He then spoke out loud, "How can I trust you, Kumo shinobi?" "You're right, you can't trust who you don't know, but how about trust in others like you who have the same flow?" B asked. Naruto raised a brow in confusion at B's rap. "What does that mean?" "He means, perhaps you'll trust others who have what you have." Yujito answered. "Have what I have?" "Kurama, these two?" "Yes, they're also Jinchuriki. The two Biju within them are ones I'm particularly closer to than other Biju, Gyuki the Hachibi and Madatabi the Nibi." Naruto looked at them. "Could you all please turn around while I dry off?" The five nodded before turning their backs to him so he'd have privacy. Naruto got out of the creek and started drying off with a towel. When he was dried, he started getting dressed while thinking, "Those girls look hot, especially that short blonde-haired girl. She's got a rack comparable to Shizuka and Hotaru. That was the first sight you noticed of her, wasn't it? How could it have been anything else?" "True." Naruto had finished getting dressed and looked over at them. "Okay, I'm done." So the Kumo shinobi turned to face him again. "What's your name, kid?" Yujito asked. "It's common courtesy to introduce yourselves." Naruto countered. Karui scowled. "Smug, isn't he?" "But he raises a good point," Omoi replied and spoke. "My name's Omoi." "I'm Samui." Samui answered coolly. Karui still scowled. "Karui." Yujito ni. The older woman greeted. "I'm the rap master killer B, fool ya fool." B greeted. "My name's Naruto. Nice to meet you all." B approached, extending his fist out to Naruto. "Meet my fist, yo." Naruto looked at the fist and suddenly recalled such a gesture. When he first met Andrew, Steve, and Matt in his subconscious 3 years ago, he also learned a few gestures and slang terms they used when they were alive. Smiling, he made a fist of his own. A fist bumped with B. "Love your style, rap master." Naruto smirked, making B smirk back. "B, we should properly get acquainted," Yujito reminded him as he nodded. She turned to the three shinobi. "You three keep on guard in case something comes up." The three nodded as Yujito and B stood before Naruto, extending their hands. Naruto curiously put his hand on top of theirs, and suddenly, like his experience with Utakata and Fu, found himself in a void with Kurama behind him. He looked, seeing Yujito and B opposite of him with their Biju behind them. Behind Yujito was a blue fiery two-tailed cat, and behind B was an ox/cephalopod hybrid with 8 tentacles which acted as tails. "Well, Kurama, it's been a long time," Gyuki the Hachibi said to the fox. "Long indeed, Gyuki, though what happened to your horn?" he asked, noticing part of one of his horns was chopped off. "I picked a fight with the wrong guy, the Yondai Mei Raika Gi." "Ouch. So this boy your latest host?" the two-tailed cat known as Madatabi asked. "That's right, kitty cat. Don't call me that," Madatabi hissed. "Couldn't help it." Kurama laughed. "Have you met any of the others, Kurama?" Gyuki asked. "As a matter of fact, I have, Shikaku, Saiken, and Chome." "And how are they?" Madatabi asked. "Well, Saiken and Chome are doing well, Shikaku on the other hand." "What?" Gyuki asked. "He's been sealed away elsewhere after being extracted from his host." "Oh dear." Madatabi gasped. "Well, he was a nutball anyway," Gyuki replied. "So the 2 tails and the 8 tails, huh? Kumo got lucky to acquire 2 Biju." Naruto noted. "Well, they tried to get me as well," Kurama replied. "You, Kurama? When?" Naruto asked. "Many years ago, long before I was sealed inside my previous host and before her." I fought these two Kumo shinobi known as the Gold and Silver Brothers. B and Yujito nodded, recalling their reputation, Kinkaku and Ginkaku. Yujito explained. I swallowed the two of them whole, and they started eating the inside of my stomach. The feeling was too much, and 2 weeks later I puked them up. It was really messy, I'll tell you that. Thank you for that morbid sight, Naruto thought in sarcasm. The other two Biju chuckled humorously as Naruto looked back at the Kumo Jinchuriki. So both of you are Jinchuriki? Then I assume you had the same life I did? Naruto asked. If you mean by being treated like village pariahs and scapegoats for others to take their anger out on, then yes. Yujito said. We all started like that, until we got what made us stronger like the gods above, and that's love. B added. Love, huh? Naruto asked, remembering all the love and bonds he's built since his banishment. I know what you mean. And thanks to that we're no longer looked at like monsters. Yujito added, we've become recognized as heroes and saviors. You deserve that kind of life, as do all Jinchuriki. Naruto said, knowing Gaara's finally gotten the recognition he wanted, but still felt down recalling he wasn't so lucky. Naruto, we've been aware that for the last number of years the only village that managed to hold Kurama has been Konoha. Are you a Konoha shinobi? Yujito asked. Naruto scowled. I was. Was? B asked. Yeah, until they threw me out. Threw you out? Yujito asked, why? Because I completed a mission. That doesn't sound right. B noted. I'll tell you later, maybe. Naruto replied. Suddenly their link ended and they were back in the forest with Samui, Omoi, and Karui still keeping an eye out. What were you three doing? Omoi asked. Yeah, you two only stay that silent when you're. Karui trailed off as the three younger Kumo ninja started realizing what they were doing with Naruto. Is he? Samui asked until Naruto sensed something. Everybody down. They all ducked before almost being impaled by multiple kunai. They looked up seeing a group of bandits. Damn it, I was so close. The lead grumbled. We're under attack. Omoi gasped. Everyone get ready. Yujito ordered as Karui and Omoi drew their swords along with B. The Kumo ninja were about ready to attack only for Naruto to step forward and block them. I got this one. What, you can't possibly take on all those bandits by yourself. Karui shouted. Watch me. Naruto answered as the bandits came charging at him. Naruto extended his arms back and suddenly the bandits were launched backwards off their feet and thrown back onto the ground. This stunt took the Kumo ninja by surprise. Holy cow. Omoi gasped. How'd he do that? Karui gasped in shock. Samui was wide-eyed for a bit before muttering, cool. The bandits got back up. What the hell was that? One of the bandits asked. Some kinda cheap trick. The lead said. No, this is a trick. Naruto performed hand signs, Kagi Bunshin no Jutsu. Suddenly popping up were a dozen shadow clones. Ooh, to use a jutsu like that, must mean he's where it's at. B rapped. Alright boys, let's send these goons for a ride. Naruto ordered his clones as they used their telekinesis to levitate the bandits up off the ground high above them and spun them around at a fast pace, faster than what one Naruto alone would do. I'm gonna be sick. One bandit cried. I'm dizzy. Naruto smirked as he and his clones used psychic to make the bandits fall to the ground with a large thud. They all laid on the ground with some laying in body prints unconsciously. That wasn't so tough. Naruto said as he dispelled his clones. How did you do that? Was that some kind of futon jutsu? Omoi asked. Something like that. Naruto answered. But you didn't use any hand signs aside from your Kagi Bunshin no Jutsu. Samui noted. Yeah, what's up with that? Karui questioned him. I have a very unique style of wind manipulating. I'd like to know more about that style, so I can commend it to my file. B rapped. Well, I suppose I could. Naruto replied. That was very quick. How do you know we won't take any info from you and kill you afterwards? Samui questioned him. Naruto smirked as he concentrated, and soon his whole body was on fire, literally, while the full seal used to keep Kurama inside him was visible, because now I can sense good and evil intent within you all, and I don't sense any wicked intentions from either of you. B crossed his arms smiling. That's using your bijou power, fool ya fool. Arigato. Naruto said as he powered down his bijou mode. So then you'll tell us more about yourself? Karui asked. Possibly, if you tell me more about you guys as well. He answered. Where should we start from? Omoi asked. How about we go someplace else? That is, if you don't have to be on your way. No problem, we still have some free time. Yujito noted. Then let's head for town and talk there. Naruto suggested. Well then let's go. Samui said as they were about to start walking. Hey, why walk there? I know a shortcut. Naruto said as they looked back at him. A shortcut, through where? Omoi asked. This way. Naruto said as he levitated up into the air, shocking the Kumo shinobi. Kami, you're flying. Karui gasped. B whistled, feeling impressed, while Yujito looked up at the hovering boy. How are you doing that? She asked. I got the power, child. Naruto called like he was a preacher. So how can that be a shortcut for all of us? Samui asked. Easy. Like this, Naruto said, summoning 4 Kage Bunshins, and each one flew down, getting behind them. Before I do this, I'm gonna have to ask you all if you trust me. Trust you? Yujito asked. Yes, I know you don't know me and I don't know you guys, but do you trust me on this? The 5 shinobi looked at each other, each giving a confident look before facing the 5 Narutos. If you trust us to talk with us, then we trust you. Samui said. Splendid. Naruto said as he got behind Samui and his clones got behind the others. Naruto and 2 of his clones wrapped their arms around the stomachs of the 3 kunoichi, making Yujito and Samui blush, while Karui was shocked and wanted to protest but knew if she squirmed around he'd probably drop her. The other 2 put their arms under the arms of Omoi and B. Okay, you guys, this is it. Naruto said. What about them? Omoi motioned to the unconscious bandits. Those bakas will be out for hours and they wouldn't be stupid enough to try and come after me. Naruto replied as he and his clones started lifting the Kumo ninja off the ground. Whoa, easy. Karui gasped, wanting the clone holding her to keep steady. Oh Kami, we're off the ground. Omoi cried. Everybody ready? And away we go. Naruto called as they flew off into the sky. As they flew above the forest, all 5 had mixed expressions of surprise and excitement as he carried them. Flying like the birds. B called. I'm walking on air. Omoi cried as he pretended to run while airborne. This is intense. Karui called as she looked down, seeing how high they were. This is ice cold cool. Samui gasped. Amazing. Yujito cheered. Soon they saw the edge of the forest and entrance to the nearby town. When they landed, Naruto and his clones released the Kumo shinobi and the clones were dispelled. Well, what did you think? That was wicked. Karui cheered, showing off a personality different from her hot-headed demeanor. I liked it. Samui admitted. I was too thrilled to even worry about the possibilities of what could have happened. Omoi added. It was some ride. Yujito put in. I'd be up for a round 2. B finished. Maybe later, but right now let's find someplace where we can all chill. Naruto said as they went to find someplace to stay. After renting out a place in the town, Naruto and the Kumo shinobi were relaxing inside a luxurious suite. I can't believe he was able to afford such a room like this. Omoi said in amaze while looking around the large room. I like this guy already. Karui smirked. So Naruto, what else can you tell us about yourself, besides your name? Samui wondered. Well, I like ramen, training, relaxing, playing the banjo, and flying, Naruto began, what I hate most includes traitors, biased people, and people obsessed with power on an unhealthy level. I have a dream to one day establish my own land where I shall stand as ruler. Not bad. Be admitted. Karui snorted, you have any idea how much time, effort, and authority it would take to actually establish your own land? As a matter of fact I do, and I already have support from various acquaintances of mine, Naruto answered. Now then, would you all care to tell me a little bit about yourselves? Well, it's only right, Omoi said, willing to go first. As you know, I'm Omoi. I like to take certain precautions when doing something, and some say I worry too much. I guess that's me in a nutshell. I like enjoying a good sucker, as you can see. He motioned to the sucker in his mouth. Clearly. Naruto chuckled before motioning to Karui, who went next. Alright. I told you before, my name's Karui. I like a good fight, getting in on action, but what I hate is being accused of being impulsive, hot-tempered, etc. Naruto thought, I'm sensing Sakura vibes from this one, but maybe if turned away from hot-headed she could be quite adorable. Those yellow eyes of hers are quite exotic, and much better than other yellow eyes. He recalled Orochimaru's snake eyes and mentally shuddered. Okay, Samui, you're next. Well, I like my brother Atsui despite his hot-headedness and cool things. Define cool. He replied. Shinobi that in my opinion deserve respect, strong men, and people who don't put themselves before others. She answered. Not bad. Any dislikes? These aches I occasionally get in my shoulder. She gripped her shoulder trying to ease the pain. Naruto thought, guess having priests that size can have drawbacks for some people. He turned to the older shinobi, Yujito. Well, I like training, cats, my teammates, Tekadon, and milk. Among my dislikes I hate cat haters, and anything that's spicy. My favorite hobby is playing the shamisen. Neat, I play the banjo. You and I should jam sometime, Naruto said before turning to the final Kumo shinobi. Alright, B, lay it on me. B smirked, I'm Killer B, the rap master of Kumogakure. I like rapping, rhyming, my brother A the Raikage, and just taking it easy. I dislike people who mock my raps and my rhyming. My hobbies are coming up with new rhymes for my rapping, and practicing with my swords. He motioned to his swords. Perfect. Now we're all on better terms. Naruto said, although be your brothers with the Raikage? Well, not brothers by blood. B explained. You see, we have a tradition in Kumo, Yujito began. Every Raikage throughout history has always had a tag team partner, who not only brings out the Raikage's full power, but defends them as well. Their partners are picked by bringing together the top students from our academy, where the Raikage determines through demonstration which one is capable of performing in perfect sync with him. To that end A and I were like two halves of a pie. B rapped. Naruto chuckled until Omoi looked nervous but spoke up. Naruto, forgive me for asking, but back in the forest when B-sensei and Yujito were standing before you, all silent, got us wondering, and we want to know. Do you also have a bijou inside of you? Samui finished his question. Naruto's eyes widened at how they figured it out, but recalled if they knew what Yujito and B were doing while they were communicating with him and Kurama, then they must know they were Jinchuriki. How would you feel if I told you I did? Would that be such a big deal, or make you think I'm so different I'm not even human? No, not at all, we're completely okay with you having one. Omoi said. Yes, we know B-sensei and Yujito-sensei are Jinchuriki and we don't think any less of them. In fact, they're the most highly respected shinobi in our village, second only to our Raikage. Karui added. Naruto looked at the three before looking at Yujito and B, who assured him they wouldn't think any less of him. Well then, yes I do. I contain the Kyubi no Kitsune, but his name is Kurama. Number 9, that's cool. Samui said, crossing her arms under her impressive bust, putting a faint blush on Naruto's face. According to our history, the Kyubi no Kitsune was previously said to be under the control of Konoha. Karui began, are you really a Konoha shinobi? Karui. Omoi called, feeling she was prying too much. Naruto held an arm up to signal him to keep quiet. It's okay, Omoi, she's partially correct. However, I'm no longer a Konoha shinobi. You're a nuke-nin? Karui asked. Banished one actually, he corrected her, by order of the Konoha Council in conspiracy against the Hokage. Why would your village want you banished? Omoi asked. Well, one of the reasons is what I am, he reminded them, except based on your village my village's council had to find other reasons to want me banished, and eventually they found a way. How? Samui asked. By damaging a spoiled brat they praised like he was Kami. I'm lost here. Yujito said. Well, seeing as how I'm no longer a shinobi of that village, telling you my life story won't get me in trouble with the village. Naruto said as he shared with him his life story leading up to his banishment but didn't tell them the source of his power. When he finished, the Kumo ninja were surprised. Unreal. Omoi gasped. And the people of Konoha say we're bad to the bone. Karui crossed her arms. Definitely not cool. Samui agreed. Who would have thought the massacre of the Uchiha clan would start so many other events that would leave you becoming banished? Yujito asked. Well, it's not all bad. Like I explained, my banishment turned into liberation. Naruto replied. Don't you even miss your village? Omoi asked. Well, some people I do, like Tsunade and my friends, everyone else there can kiss my ass. Yujito and I are lucky, you being treated like dirt is beyond sucky. Be wrapped. Thanks guys, but hey, this was 3 years ago. I've made quite a living on my own. I've been around multiple countries in the ninja land, and made all sorts of new friends. In fact, I'll show you. He pulled out his photo book and opened it, showing them several photos he showed his old friends from Konoha. No way, is that you with? Omoi gasped, seeing a picture of him with Hotaru, Utakata, Chujiro, Ao, and Mei, who he was focused on. Oh yeah, the Gondai Mei Mizukage. Naruto smirked. She's beautiful. Karui gasped. That she is, she's also a very nice woman. I honestly wish I had her for a mother. Naruto admitted. They looked at another picture, seeing him with Gaara, Kankuro, Temari, and Pakura, the Kazekage. You know him too? Omoi gasped. Gaara? Oh yeah, he and I go way back. Back when he was a psycho of a Jinchuriki. He's a Jinchuriki too? Samui asked. Was actually until it was removed from him. But when a bijou is removed from its host, that human. Yujito tried to explain, but Naruto replied. Yes, but however, one of the Suna elders knew of a way to save him, though he's no longer a Jinchuriki now. Taking his word, they continued looking through the pictures, spotting several of the girls he's befriended. Seeing certain girls' images like Shizuka, Hotaru, Mingju, and Chao's got Karui looking envious due to their rack sizes. You weren't kidding, you've been all over this ninja land. B said. That's right, I've made friends with people in Kiri, Suna, Nadeshiko, Taki, Oni no Kuni, Demon Country, Yuki no Kuni, Snow Country, Umi no Kuna, Sea Country, Nami no Kuni, Wave Country, and several other places. Guess you're more popular outside your village than inside it. Karui noted. That's a fact. Naruto admitted. Naruto, you said this Gaara was also a Jinchuriki but lost his. How did that happen? Yujito asked. Well, Shikaku, his bijou, was extracted from him. Extracted how? Samui asked. Naruto looked at them. Any of you hear of the Akatsuki organization? The group looked at each other in confusion before Omoi spoke. Who are they? The Akatsuki is an organization composed of nuke-nin with one goal in mind, to collect the 9 bijou. I've met 4 of them and they were dangerous ones. Who were they? B asked. One of which is the one who led to my old teammate going rogue, Itachi Uchiha. The second was a member of one of Kiri's old generations of 7 swordsmen, Kisame Hashigaki. The third was a nuke-nin from Suna, Sasori of the Red Sands, the puppet master of shinobi. Then there was the 4th named Deidara, a nutcase who used clay explosives. How did you survive your encounters with them? Karui asked. Well, the first time I met Itachi and Kisame, I was lucky. Ero-Sennin or Jiraiya-sama, my former master, was there to ward them off. But I actually confronted Sasori and Deidara not too long ago. Though they succeeded in extracting Shikaku from Gaara, my old team managed to destroy Sasori while I fought Deidara and forced him to blow himself up. He said, oblivious to Deidara's survival. And this organization is after our bijou. Why? Yujito asked. I do not know, but I can only assume collecting all 9 of them must be for something big, Naruto theorized, so word to the wise, be on the lookout for guys decked out in black cloaks with red cloud designs on them. Doesn't sound so hard to spot, it'd be like pointing out a dot. Be wrapped. Yeah, well, spotting them is one thing. Fighting them is another. The members are said to be dangerous shinobi with powers and talents that could for all we know rival a Kage ninja. If you recall the reputations of such ninja as Itachi and Kisame in the bingo book, you'd know what I mean. Sasori and Deidara were able to slip into Suna and defeat Gaara like he was nothing. Believe me, defeating them won't be easy. Even with this psychic power I got, I can't be too sure the other members I haven't met could be even stronger than the 4 I did meet. You're serious about this? Yujito could tell. I am. And getting banished in a way is like a piece of meat thrown to the dogs. Samui added. Yeah, that's one of the problems I have with being banished. I can't say I'll truly be safe until the Akatsuki organization is destroyed. Samui spoke. Naruto, you are definitely a shinobi worthy of respect. Huh? Not many shinobi banished from their village would be able to survive like you did, especially at your age. Well, thanks. Hey, you guys hungry? How about I treat us to something to eat? No way, no how, you've done more enough for us. This time we'll supply the chow. Be wrapped. We insist. Yujito added. Really? Well, if you really want to. Okay. Naruto smiled. Soon the 5 had left the inn and grabbed a bite to eat at the closest shop. They ate peacefully until they heard a disturbance outside. They rushed out of the shop, seeing people fleeing for their lives or taking cover. Yo, what's the show? Be wrapped to a man taking cover. Bandits, raiding the town. Bandits? Naruto asked as he reached into his pocket and pulled out a mini telescope and looked through it, seeing the very same bandits he dealt with before in the forest, only this time there were more of them. Damn it. I would have thought they'd be weak enough to die from such a fall. What is it, Naruto? Omoi asked. Those bastard bandits from the forest again. He answered. And I thought what you did to them would have killed them. Karui said. Oh well, this time I'll have them hit the ground after falling from 100 feet in the air. The red-head boy replied. This time we'll help out. Yujito said. After all, we can't let you have all the fun. Samui added. Well, hogging too much fun to myself wouldn't please me anyway. He admitted. So let's split up, that way we all get a cup. Be wrapped as all 6 of them took off. Omoi spotted a group of the bandit army ransacking a shop. Hey you. He called as he jumped into the air and pulled out his sword, Komoryu Mikazukajiri, cloud-style crescent moon slash. He unleashed a spinning slash that struck all the bandits. Karui, who went around another corner, saw 5 bandits attempting to harm an elderly couple. Frowning, she jumped up onto one of the smaller buildings and ran over before jumping down, delivering a kick to one of them. Don't you know it's not nice picking on elderly? Get that bitch. One of the bandits barked. Being called that only got Karui ticked off, complete with a ticked mark forming in her head. What did you call me? She screamed while drawing her sword, Komoryu Omotajiri, cloud-style front slash. She released a cutting slash attack onto the bandits in front of her. The elderly couple was shocked until she looked at them. Get out of here. Go. Taking her word, they went for cover. Samui had led some of the townsfolk to safety until she saw one bandit was trying to strike a little girl. She ran and deflected the bandit's sword with her tanto. Not cool. She deflected the sword and delivered a spin kick to his face. The little girl watched in amaze as Samui turned to her. Let's find your parents. She took her off. Yujito saw 7 bandits confronting her. You know, a cat has 9 lives, you guys I'm afraid have only 1. She said as she was surrounded by her bijou chakra and one-tailed extended form behind her. Her finger and toe-nails extended as if they were cat claws. Taking off like a shot, she darted at the bandits until she was behind them. Suddenly the bandits started spurting blood from their bodies and their clothes were cut to ribbons. Perfect. She giggled. Not bad. Matatabi thought. B found himself getting cornered by 10 bandits, time to float like a butterfly and sting like a killer bee. He announced as he unsheathed his 7 blades and held them in between the joints of his arms, such as his left armpit, both elbows, right leg, stomach, the right side of his neck, and in his mouth. The bandits were confused at this maneuver but soon found out how deadly it was as B spun like a buzz saw and was slicing through, cutting them to pieces. When he finished, he struck a pose before speaking, even with the blade's handle in his mouth. Word. Naruto was flying through the streets in his bijou chakra mode, using chakra arms to maintain a perfect Utama Rasengan. He spotted several bandits all around him and smirked, sending forth more chakra arms grabbing the bandits. Here's a little something called Rasenkyugen, spiral vacuum sphere. He shoved the captured bandits into the Rasengan. When the bodies dropped onto the ground dead, he looked, seeing more up ahead. He dashed for them using his chakra arms to form multiple Rasengans, Rasenrungun, spiral turbulent spheres. He made the chakra arms shove the Rasengans into the bandits. As he fought the bandits, B, Yujito, Karui, Samui, and Omoi, seeing the explosions from Naruto's jutsu, arrived and watched him from on top of the roofs. Wow, he's good. Omoi gasped. Very good. Karui admitted. What a dash, he's moving as quick as a flash. B rapped until he recalled another who moved like a flash from many years ago. He smiled to himself. Naruto then saw the lead bandit from before, and then there was one. Yugaki, what the hell are you? I'm simply one hell of a ninja, he smirked as he extended his hand, and suddenly the bandit was being lifted off the ground like before. Naruto, while not losing his hold on the bandit, levitated himself up to the air with him. Now when I defeat you, I expect you to remain dead. He formed a large Rasengan that was being orbited by 3 normal-sized ones. What are you going to do with that? The bandit asked in fright. Use it on you, of course. Wakusei Rasengan, planet spiral sphere. He used a chakra arm to thrust the jutsu forward, nailing the bandit. Because the 3 small Rasengans spun in continuous opposition to the larger one, the disruptive spinning created a giant destructive vortex that had more than enough power to kill the bandit upon contact, but also sent him flying off into the sky with a ping. Cool. Samui gasped with an agape jaw. Naruto ended his chakra mode and descended down to the ground. He's not surviving that attack. He chuckled. We actually did it. Omoi gasped in surprise. Normally we wouldn't have even gotten involved since it didn't exactly concern us. Samui added. Well, when it comes to the concern of anyone innocent, it concerns me. Naruto explained until they heard cheers and applause. They looked over, seeing the townspeople running over congratulating them. Arigato for saving our lives. A woman thanked them. Without you our town would be in ruins. A man thanked them. How can we ever thank you all enough? An old woman asked. We're just shinobi doing our job, ma'am. Naruto answered. This calls for a celebration. Another man announced. Let's all salvage as much food as we can and have a party. Another woman added as everyone cheered in agreement. Naruto and the Kumo shinobi smiled, liking the sound of that. Soon around evening time the party was already happening as lights were hanging by the posts. Everyone was having outdoor cooking, from barbecue to food cooked over open fires. The greatest of entertainment at the party had to have been Naruto playing his banjo, Yujito playing a shamisen which he kept sealed away in a scroll, and B was rapping and dancing as the music played. Naruto chuckled to himself at B's crazy rapping as he continued to play his banjo and looked, seeing Yujito play her shamisen like a pro. As the crowds were enjoying the rap and music, Omoi, Karui, and Samui watched as well, clapping. That's B-sensei for you. Omoi smiled. Naruto's not bad with the banjo. Karui admitted. Yeah. Samui agreed. Soon after the show, Naruto was having a meal with the 5 Kumo ninja. Man guys, is this a great party or what? Naruto asked. You got that right, brother. B answered before taking a bite out of some meat. Amazing how things turn out what you least expect. Omoi asked. Agreed, Yujito began. Here we were on our way back home and then we run into you, Naruto, and all this happens. When you pal around with me you expect the unexpected. He replied. Obviously. Karui agreed. And this calls for a commemorative photo. Naruto said as he set up his camera and started scooting his new friends into the picture with B on the top left holding Omoi in the middle and Yujito on the top right. Below them was Naruto sitting in the middle with Karui on his left and Samui on his right. The picture was then taken, giving Naruto another memory to add to his album. Later that night, in their suite at the inn, the boys and the girls were in 2 separate rooms of the suite so both sides could have their privacy. On the girls' side they were each relaxing until they looked at the window seeing Naruto hovering outside. Naruto? Samui asked as she opened the window and he flew in. Thanks for letting me in. How when we can hear you? Karui motioned to the other room where B and Omoi were. I left a clone in there so I can come here and hang with you girls. Naruto explained. Clever. Samui admitted. I wanted to personally congratulate you 3 on a job well done with defending this town. Yujito, your skills as a Jinchuriki show you've really trained in working together with Matatabi just like B and Gyuki. I hope one day I could be just as strong a Jinchuriki as you. Personally, with your abilities combined with your Bijou chakra you've already surpassed me. She joked. Naruto smiled and turned to Karui and Samui. Karui, Samui. I was riveted by your display in Kenjutsu. You both really know how to handle a blade just as Omoi and B can. We try. Samui admitted while the two had a faint blush. Samui suddenly recoiled as she gripped her shoulder. Again? Yujito asked. Yeah. Samui groaned. Aches in your shoulders? Naruto asked. I get them constantly. She admitted. Naruto smiled, no problem, let me help you. The girls looked at him, what do you plan on doing? Karui asked with a bit of caution. Just massage her shoulders of course. Naruto answered. And you think that will be enough to stop the aches? Samui asked. I've learned a few medical acupuncture techniques from a friend of mine. Believe me, I once had a lot of stress on my back, but one good massage from Chow I jumping around as if I was on sugar high. And you're sure it'll work? The buxom blonde asked. Positive. Now turn around. Naruto said as she did so. Naruto then got behind her and placed his hands on her shoulders and proceeded to massage them. Samui felt a little tense at first, but once she started accepting it she was able to relax. This does feel good. She moaned. What did I tell ya? Just trust the Chow massage. It always does the trick. Naruto replied as he continued away. Yujito and Karui watched Samui enjoy the massage, making them curious about how it was that appealing to her. Say Naruto, when you're done with Samui, can you give me one as well? Yujito asked. And me? Karui asked. No need to wait, you forget my fave jutsu. Naruto asked as he summoned 2 clones that took either Yujito or Karui. Soon all 3 girls were enjoying their massage. Oh, this is heavenly. Yujito moaned as all the tension she had was being soothed. I'll say. I haven't felt this relaxed in ever. Karui added. Glad you girls are enjoying it, Naruto said as he and his 2 clones continued the massaging. Soon the 3 ended their massage as Naruto asked, well girls, what did you think? That was amazing, Naruto. I don't think I'll ever get aches in my shoulders ever again. Samui admitted as she stretched her arms up. After that fight today, this was exactly what I needed. Yujito added while she was flexing her arms and moving her shoulders around. Me too. Karui agreed, feeling stress-free. Glad I could help you girls. Naruto admitted until Samui turned to face him. Please Naruto, allow me to repay you for your service. Repay me, how? With this. Samui said as she planted her lips on Naruto's and passionately kissed him, which he accepted with no problem. Naruto's two clones were surprised until Yujito and Karui turned to them. Let me give you a reward as well, Naruto. Yujito said. Me too. Karui said as they both kissed the clones. As they made out, Samui took Naruto's left hand and placed it on her left wrist. When she did, Naruto felt himself grow stiff below, form the feeling alone, damn it, this is soft and firm to boot, he thought. When their lips parted, Naruto spoke, still not relinquishing his hold on her wrist. Samui, any reason why you moved my hand there? Because I trust you, Naruto. You've proven to me multiple times today that you are a shinobi that deserves respect in my book. And you should consider yourself lucky. Any slob who ever gazed at these stupidly or tried to cope a feel got their junk smashed. She said in deadpan. Whoa. I don't know whether to shit myself crazy from how hardcore you can be or pop a boner from how hot you can be when being hardcore. Samui blushed. You don't need to answer. Let's just enjoy this. She continued making out with him. As Yujito and the one clone were kissing, the clone found Yujito rubbing her own wrists against the clone's chest. When they parted, the clone asked, Yujito. You too? Sorry Naruto, I don't know what came over me. But something about you has me intrigued. You're a splendid shinobi and a hell of a Jinchuriki like me and B. Plus you're more of a man than any other man I've met in my village. Well, I'm glad you think so highly of me. So thanks. The clone said as they continued to make out while he continued enjoying the feeling of Yujito rubbing her chest against his. When Karui noticed what her two friends were doing, she looked at the clone she was making out with and frowned. I suppose you're gonna be all disappointed now that I can't do anything like that? What are you talking about? It's because I'm flat, okay? She snapped. I'm flat and I can't do what Samui and Yujito can do for them. Karui, calm down, the clone said, I don't care about that kind of stuff. And personally you shouldn't think too hard about that because everyone is different. Besides, you're not flat. Are you insulting me now? Karui asked, glaring daggers at him, because let me tell you, I will strangle you if you're trying to tease me. No, let me finish, the clone continued, what I was trying to say is you are not flat. You're firm and toned. Karui gasped, wait, what did you say? I said you are firm and toned. Firm and toned. Yeah, with a body like that it's no wonder you're such a skilled kunoichi. Karui looked down at her body and blushed. Naruto, arigato, she smiled. Normally Omoi would casually compare me to Samui by calling me flat. I know he never meant it as an insult, but hearing you say something that doesn't sound insulting to my body means a lot to me. Well, I'm glad you're taking my words well. Karui smirked as she pulled the clone into a headlock, but just because I'm being sentimental doesn't make me a softie. Remember that. She noogied him. Okay, you're not a softie. The clone chuckled at her flirting. Samui and Yujito ceased their make-out with the Naruto they were each occupying as the younger blonde spoke. Don't think this is going to lead to us going too far in a relationship tonight. Wouldn't think of it, Naruto answered. After all, I don't think having sex with people I just met is right. It could damage our friendship, especially since it was just made today. I mean, I didn't engage in such activity with any of the other women I met for the first time. He explained, remembering he didn't mate with Shizuka, Pakura, Fu, Isaribi, Amaru, and Sarah when he first met them. Sure, there was the make-out he had with Hotaru when they first met, but it didn't go that far. Nice to see you have that much class. Yujito said. Yeah, that's me for you. Well then tonight let's just enjoy this. Samui said as the three Kumo kunoichi made out with the three Narutos again until it was time for them to turn in. Naruto had gone back to the boys' side, dispelling his clone, making it look like he never left Omoi and B. The very next morning outside the town, Naruto stood on opposite sides of the Kumo ninja. Well guys, this is where we part ways. Naruto said. We're sure gonna miss you, Naruto. You're a great friend. Omoi said. Same to you guys. If a Konoha shinobi, even an ex-shinobi from said village, can be a nice guy like you, then maybe there are more people like you in that village. Karui added. There are, but you'd have to get to know them on the level I had to. He joked. You take care out there, Naruto. Yujito pecked his cheek. Same to you and B, Yujito. Watch your back out there, and don't even think about giving us a scare. B rapped. Naruto smirked. I promise you Octopops, you have my word. And if any hater comes at me, I'll slice them like a sword. Then meet my fist. B said, extending his fist out, and Naruto pounded it. Stay cool Naruto and don't forget us. Samui said as the two kissed. Wouldn't think of it, and as long as you don't forget about me either. Try and make us. Karui answered with a smirk. And we'll keep this little meeting between us from my bro, B added. Thanks guys. Well, time to fly. Naruto said before taking it to the air and flew off. The five smiled as Gyuki thought to B, you remembered who he reminds you of, B. Why didn't you say anything? Because silence is golden, fool you fool. He replied. Naruto was traveling through the sky enjoying himself. This is perfect weather for flying. He flew through some of the clouds leaving behind his outline in them. Well, shouldn't be too far from the rice field country now. Hard to imagine it's been 3 years since you drove Orochimaru and his forces from that land, forcing him to hide elsewhere. Yeah, and even better, I saved a whole clan and convinced them to begin anew without relying on Orochimaru. Wonder how the Fumas are doing now. The Fumas in general, or Sasami and Kodoheim? Kurama teased him. Okay, mostly them, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna be happy to see all the Fumas. No doubt they'll be happy to see you. After all, you freed the Fuma clan from Orochimaru's influence. Definitely, Naruto said as he flew above the land known as the rice field country. Well, there it is. He started gliding down before landing outside a village. He tightened his cloak and put his hood up just in case as he entered. He walked around seeing it was blooming with activity. First time he traveled there, the whole place was run down and filled with miscreants due to the wars that neighboring countries were in conflict with the land itself. Looking at it now, however, put a smile on his face, knowing the Fuma clan had been doing just fine now that Orochimaru was no longer employing them. He looked and spotted a bar and entered. He looked inside, seeing a few people having drinks at the table in booths. The waitresses were beautiful women, but one in particular caught his attention. A red-haired he knew all too well. Sasami Fuma, one of the girls he was very close to. He walked casually before taking a seat in a booth. By luck Sasami noticed and went over, planning to take his order. What'll it be, sir? Sasami asked. Give me something non-alcoholic. He answered. All right then. She said before he spoke again. Place seems to be doing just fine. Excuse me? She asked. Just seeing this bar is livelier than it used to be. Have you been here before? Oh yeah, haven't been here in years actually, and back then you didn't look as gorgeous as you did then. Naruto smirked under his hood. You know me? Naruto answered by pulling down his hood, revealing himself to the girl, who blushed in surprise. Hey there, little troublemaker. He flirted. Naruto. She gasped. Good to see you again, Sasami. Wow, I didn't expect to see you today, she said, feeling excited. What are you doing here? I'll tell you later, I don't want to keep you from your job. He answered. My shift ends soon, so we'll talk then. Sasami said as she went to give Naruto's order to the bartender. Naruto soon received his non-alcoholic drink and took a SP from it before he heard a male voice on a speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for our talented Kodo princess. Naruto looked at a stage as the curtains opened up, revealing his second Fuma lover, Kodoheim. She was wearing a kimono and started playing her Kodo instrument like a natural. He smiled as he enjoyed the melody and thought, Kami, I love the sound that woman can make. Indeed. Kurama replied. Soon after her performance was done, he finished his drink and paid for it. He went outside and waited for Sasame's shift to end. Soon enough Sasame exited the bar and accompanying her was Kotohime. "Hey ladies." Naruto smiled. "Naruto. I knew it was you sitting in that booth," Kotohime said as she rushed over and embraced him. "You got good eyes, Kotohime," Naruto answered. "So what brings you back here after so long?" Sasame asked him. "Well, I haven't been here in a while and I felt I was overdue for a visit." "You sure were," Kotohime agreed. "So how are things here with you and the rest of the Fuma clan?" "We're all doing great. After you helped us all break free from Orochimaru, things have been going fine for all of us," Sasame explained. "Yes, without Orochimaru around, our town and our land has gone from the war-stricken zone it once was to a land of prosperity," Kotohime added. "Well, with Hanzaki running the place here, I can believe it. Where is the guy anyway?" "Follow us," Koto said as they started leading him around the village, where Naruto marveled at all the new restored buildings compared to how beat up and run down they looked years ago. They led him to a center building where they entered and saw a group of people appearing to be in discussion. "Hanzaki?" Sasame asked. The one man known as Hanzaki looked up. "Sasame, Kotohime, is there something you need?" "No, but we felt we should tell you we have a guest here in the village," Kotohime answered. "A guest?" he asked while the three joining him were curious. "Hey you guys, long time no see," Naruto said as he approached. "Naruto?" Hanzaki asked. "One and the same Hanzaki. Naruto." They called and rushed over. "When did you get here?" another man asked. "About half an hour ago, Kamakiri." "It's good to see you again, Naruto," another man said. "Thanks, Jigumo," Naruto said before turning to a beautiful green-haired woman in a white dress. "Kagero, I see that form of yours is holding well." "All thanks to you and your sealing knowledge, Naruto, I could keep this form permanently," she answered. "Yeah, this look suits you better than that brutish look you sported," Naruto said as the two chuckled. "Welcome back, Naruto," another man welcomed him. "Thanks, Erasure. Given the state of this village, you all seem to be running it very well," Naruto admitted. "Well, if it weren't for you our village would have been nothing," Hanzaki admitted. "Yes, for you helped Jigumo, Kagero, Erasure, Kotohime, and I break free from Orochimaru's influence, and even stopped Sasame from making the same mistake," Kamakiri said. "Hey, if anything involves Orochimaru causing trouble, I'll be there to stop him," Naruto chuckled. "Do you have business with us, Naruto, or are you just passing by?" Hanzaki asked. "Actually, I came for a visit. It's been a while since I saw all of you guys." "Well, you're right about that," Erasure agreed. "Besides, I could do for another concert here." "Yeah, he can perform with me at the bar while he's here," Kotohime added. "Well, why not? Sasame, you make sure Naruto feels right at home," Hanzaki ordered. "Sure thing," she nodded. "And I'll help too," Kotohime offered. "Very well ladies, I leave him in your care," the Fuma leader answered. "Come on Naruto, let's go someplace else," Sasame said as she and Kotohime took him by the arms and dragged him off. "You really sure it was wise letting Sasame show him around?" Erasure asked. "Come on Erasure, you know how much she likes the kid," Jigumo answered. "Yeah, she's allowed to see boys," Kagero agreed. "Yeah, you're right," Erasure smiled. Out in the village, Kotohime and Sasame were showing Naruto around the village. So many new places here. A lot of stuff that wasn't even here at all. He noticed various shops for clothing, accessories, food, and other essentials. "So how are your travels going, Naruto?" Sasame asked. "They're going very well as always, although I had a bit of a run-in with some Akatsuki goons." "The organization that's after you?" Kotohime asked. "That's them." "What happened?" Sasame asked. They abducted one of my friends from Suna who also happened to be a Jinchuriki like myself. My old team and I managed to defeat the two that abducted him, but we were too late. You mean? Sasami gasped. Yeah, he died. Although he didn't stay dead forever. What do you mean? Kotoheim was confused. A Suna elder who happened to have been the one who sealed Shikaku within him used a special revival jutsu to give him life again, but at the cost of her own life. What a sacrifice! Sasami gasped. Yeah, all of Suna mourned for her. Even I did. Then what you said really is happening. You're being targeted by Nuke Nin. Kotoheim said. Yeah, now that they've gotten active again, they'll soon be targeting me, and anyone else like me. Naruto, what will you do? Sasami asked. What I always do when facing a situation. I fight to survive. We know, but we're scared for you. Sasami said. Sasami's right, you said so yourself. These Nuke Nin from the Akatsuki are dangerous and not opponents to take lightly. The Koto princess added. Don't worry girls. I'm not getting BP over this. Even I knew it wasn't all easy when I faced one of them weeks ago. You could stay here after all. Hanzaki did say you're welcome to. Sasami reminded him. And I've said in reply I'd only be putting you all here at risk. Until the Akatsuki organization, Orochimaru, and Danzo Shimura are out of my misery, I can't remain in the same place too long. But doesn't this life on the run tire you in the slightest? Kotoheim asked. Of course it does, but it won't last forever. As soon as my obstacles are out of the way, I will put my plan to start my own country and village into play. I'll be inviting you girls to join me and my others as well. Naruto admitted. Well, we hope you succeed. Sasami said. Thanks girls, he smiled. Hey Koto-chan, why don't we get some practice in for tonight's show? Sure. She replied. Sasami-chan, you know of a quiet place where we can go? Sure, come on. Sasami said as she led them along. Soon the three were in a small clearing where Kotoheim was playing her koto and Naruto was playing his banjo. Sasami sat enjoying the harmonious sound both of them were making. Naruto's talent with the banjo is like a gift from heaven. She thought. The two performers started slowing down to give themselves a break. Not bad Naruto, your banjo still has the tune. Same for your koto. Naruto replied. You all sounded great. Sasami replied as she handed them some drinks. Thanks Sasami, my banjo concerts have not only given me a good public image, but have also made me a bundle over the years. All part of your big master plan? Kotoheim asked, having heard it before. Oh yeah, once I gain enough money and combine it with the help of supporting nations, I can recreate the Whirlpool country as my own. And you and any member of the Fuma clan are welcome to relocate there. Well, when it happens, let us know. Sasami giggled. Come on girls, I know you'd relocate with me in a heartbeat. Naruto nudged the girls. The girls smiled. Well, you got us there. After all, you're the first guy in a long time to have shown us so much kindness and love outside from our clan members. Sasami said. That's just the guy I am girls. Naruto said as he held them both close. And we like the guy you are. Kotoheim said as they each delivered a double-sided kiss, making him smile. In response he gave both girls a kiss as well. That night at the bar, Sasami was sitting with Erasure, Hanzaki, Kagero, Jigumo, and Kamakiri, eager to see how the performance between Naruto and Kotoheim goes. Good evening folks, and welcome to Gentleman's Pleasure Bar. For tonight's performance we have a special treat. Joining our beloved Koto princess we have that talented traveler of the banjo, Naruto. The people in the bar applauded as the curtain opened up with Kotoheim and Naruto playing their instruments in the same harmonious melody as they did during their practice. Needless to say, everyone was enjoying the soothing sound of both the koto and the banjo. When the two finished their number, the bar crowd applauded and cheered, and there you have it folks, Kotoheim and Naruto, give them a big hand. The crowd continued to applaud them. The Fuma clan, they really are a nice family. Naruto thought. Later that night at Hanzaki's building, Naruto was set up inside a special guest's room. Joining him inside was both Sasami and Kotohime, who lied on the bed with him. That was some concert tonight, huh? Naruto looked to his right side at Kotohime. Yeah, we knocked them dead and made quite a profit. The Koto player agreed. You both did great, and we all thought so. Sasami added. And I'm glad you two decided to join me in my room tonight. I mean, if Erasure or Hanzaki knew about this. What they don't know won't hurt them. Sasami shushed him. Besides, it's been years since we last saw you. Kotohime said as they sat up. No kidding, Naruto replied as he held the two closer, and now that things have gotten better between all three of us. He had his hands slink their way to their wrists, giving them a playful grope. Naruto. Sasami giggled. That tickles. Kotohime giggled. Sasami-chan, have these babies gotten bigger since last time? Naruto teased as he continued fondling her one wrist. Sasami continued to giggle as she spoke. So you still remember that one time? Of course. That feeling in my palm felt so good I could never forget about it. Surprised you still remember it. I could never forget the way you groped me so firmly. It felt so good. Sasami blushed. So this is what you felt that day, Sasami? Kotohime asked as Naruto rubbed her one wrist. After rubbing one each enough, Naruto released them and the two looked at him with confident looks and slowly begun disrobing. Naruto watched as Sasami and Kotohime were now in their undergarments, with Sasami's being red and Kotohime's being black. Naruto could only stare at their curvaceous frames and their busty wrists contained in their bras. Damn it, girls, you look hot. Naruto said. You really think so? Sasami asked while blushing and trying not to cover her modesty. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. He replied. Sasami smiled at that reassurance as Kotohime spoke. Well, Naruto, we hope you'll be comfortable with us. She said as she pulled his shirt up above him. Sasami gazed lustfully at Naruto's well-toned chest before she threw her arms around Naruto, pressing her beautiful mounds into his chest, making him blush. Sasami. He gasped. I can't force myself back anymore, Naruto. I want you. I want you so bad. She said, gazing into his eyes. Well, I want you too. You and Koto-chan. He smirked and felt Kotohime glomp him from behind, rubbing her equally busty mounds into his back. He realized is that she had removed her bra before she glomped him. Well, Koto-chan. I can see we're being frisky as well. You did save me from Orochimaru's influence back then, Naruto. I never did properly thank you for doing that. She said as she began kissing on his neck while rubbing her wrists on his back pleasurably. As Kotohime occupied Naruto's back, Sasami continued pleasuring him up front by undoing his pants and yanked them off, revealing his boxers had become a tent from the arousal. Wanting more, Sasami went back to his embrace, rubbing her wrists onto his chest before claiming his lips in a full, heated, passionate kiss. As they did, their tongues battled it out for dominance. As his arms stroked her back, they made their way to her bra before unhooking it. Without breaking lip contact, he slipped the bra off Sasami as it fell in between them, leaving her perky wrists exposed. They fell over with Sasami laying flat down on the bed with Naruto on top of her, while Kotohime continued pressing herself onto his back while kissing his neck. He started kneading Sasami's wrists together, earning moans out of her as he started kissing her neck. Oh, Naruto. Naruto. She moaned. Naruto smirked as he looked down at her, still kneading her wrists. You love it. I do, Naruto. I love it so much. And I love you. Sasami moaned as her nipples started hardening. The two sat up as Naruto noticed her nipples were already hardened. Mind if I? Naruto asked. Please do it. She begged him. Gladly. Naruto started sucking on her right wrist as Sasami held his head closer. As Naruto sucked on the redhead's wrist, he moaned in his thoughts from the soft feeling of Kotohime. Damn, these two are incredible. He thought. And they want you badly. Kurama added. Well, I'll be giving it to them. He finally felt Sasame's freezed milk leak and he drank it. "Oh Naruto!" Sasame cried as he drank her milk. "You'll be doing that with me next." Kodohime whispered into Naruto's ear. "You bet." Naruto confirmed as he spun around and wrapped his arms around Kodohime, pressing their chests together before passionately kissing. As they did, Sasame started rubbing her fists against Naruto's back, determined to keep her nipples hardened from the sensual feeling. Within an hour and a half all three were under the covers asleep, with Sasame Naruto's right and Kodohime on his left. All three slept peacefully until Naruto was having another one of his premonitions like he did when he foresaw Gaara getting captured. This time, however, he was seeing the forest around the Fuma clan's village that very night. What shocked him was who he saw in his vision. Itachi Uchiha. His eyes flung open, looking surprised. "Itachi," he whispered to himself before seeing he didn't wake the two Fuma girls. He carefully slipped out of bed before changing into his clothes and flew out through the balcony. Why would Itachi be here? Could he have been onto me? Whatever the reason, Naruto, you must be careful. It could very well be a trap. Kurama said. I know. I wasn't able to properly blow him up before, but this time it'll be different. Naruto thought back. Naruto landed in the forest before whipping out a kunai just in case. "Alright Itachi, where are you?" he thought while taking slow steps. "Naruto, I'm glad you could come." Itachi's voice came. "Where are you Itachi?" Naruto demanded. "Turn around." Naruto did so and saw Itachi standing in between two trees casually as if he wasn't going to attack at all. "Where's Kisame?" "I felt this would be better if I met you alone." The Uchiha traitor answered. "Why did you come this far, and how did you know I would come here?" he asked, recalling Itachi said he knew Naruto would show. "I figured it wasn't coincidence that you were there to partake in the rescue of Gaara. And after hearing from Deidara what you did to him, I figured you must have some kind of psychic ability that allowed you to foresee what happened. So I took the chance in coming to this spot hoping you would foresee my presence." "Wait, you said Deidara told you what I did?" "That can't be, that smartass blew himself up." "On the contrary, Deidara only made it seem like he blew himself up. What he really did was swap himself with one of his clay clones." Naruto, hearing this, knew this couldn't be Itachi trying to psyche him out. Damn it. He thrusted his arm to the side, knocking down a whole row of trees, making Itachi raise a brow. "So what are you doing here? Come to collect me like your damn Akatsuki member Sasori did to Gaara?" "No, I came here only to talk to you," the stoic Uchiha answered. Naruto was struck with confusion but shook it off. "I got nothing to say to you." "Then don't say anything. I'll do all the talking." Itachi humored him. "I'm not interested in anything you have to say to me." Naruto raised his hand out, preparing to crush Itachi, only for the Uchiha to hold his hand out, signaling him to halt. "Before you nuke me like you did to my stand-in, I implore you to listen to what I have to say. What I have to tell you is something the Sandaime would probably haunt me for telling anybody." Naruto hesitantly lowered his hand before speaking. "This better be worth it or I will crush you with my mind." Itachi, showing no fear, walked behind a tree and appeared behind another behind Naruto. "The truth of the matter is, Naruto, I am not what you think I am." "What do you mean?" Naruto tightened his eyebrows. "I am not the heartless nuke Nin you or anybody in Konoha knows me as. In fact, you could say I'm your ally. I warned you about making this conversation worth it." Naruto frowned as he slowly tightened his fist. "If you'll listen, I'll explain it clearly." Itachi answered. "What's to explain? You killed your own family just to test your damn Uchiha strength. And your axe drove your own brother to insanity. Because of what you did, Sasuke was tempted by Orochimaru and attempted to go nuke Nin, all for the chance just to see you dead. And I was ordered to bring him back, but all I got out of it was banishment. So your act not only led to making Sasuke who he was, but also led me to getting thrown out of my village. What you did deserved to be called treason. I was wronged by the council and all those who sided with them. If you're done venting your frustrations, I can continue." Itachi continued in annoyance. "It's true I murdered my clan, but it wasn't because I was testing my strength." "What? I did it by order of the council and Sandaime-sama himself. Naruto growled, you dare talk ill of Sandaime-jiji's? These are the facts, Naruto. The reason why he ordered me to do so is because my clan the Uchiha was planning to take over Konoha. Naruto unclenched his fist and looked surprised, come again. The Uchiha clan was planning to take over Konoha. Why would the Uchiha take over the village? Naruto asked skeptically. You know of Konoha's founders? Itachi asked. Yes, Senju Hashirama the Shodai Mei Hokage, and Madara Uchiha. He realized, wondering if this had something to do with it. Well, as you probably know, both founders previously clashed for years until they came to a settlement and founded the village of Konoha, Itachi explained. The Senju clan wanted to rule by peace as opposed to Madara's ruling by war and strife. Even his own clan abandoned him. The Uchiha clan was then given control of the Konoha military police force as a sign of trust from the Nidaime Hokage. However, various members started seeing this as a sign of being suppressed and ostracized. They felt as if they were being purposely kept out of Konoha's governing affairs. Because of this, there had still been a rift between Senju and Uchiha. Why would the Uchiha feel they were being suppressed, and if they really were, why would the Hokage do something like that? Naruto asked. It was to keep the Uchiha's emotions in check so the village would not end up with another Madara. Keep the Uchiha's emotions in check. Naruto was more confused than before. Yes, for you see, the Uchiha clan has a curse of passionate love. Passionate love? To make it simple, the Uchiha clan values everything they hold dear, probably even more than the Senju did. But the moment the ones they care for the most are killed or dies, their passionate love becomes a bottomless well of despair. This was in fact something Madara had experienced himself. So what you're saying, your clan loves so much they'd go crazy if they lost someone special to them? Naruto asked. Not just anybody, Naruto. It would have to be someone they treasured more than their own lives. Itachi corrected him. So what does this have to do with the Uchiha clan massacre and you? Because the Uchiha felt they were being suppressed, various members started leaning towards the possibility of revolting against Konoha, just like Madara wanted them to do. The Sandaime had feared this would eventually start, so he sent me, the only true loyal Uchiha member, to spy on them, while at the same time my family had me spy on them as well. You might say I was a quadruple agent. He attempted to make a joke. Skip the levity and continue. Naruto said, wanting him to get to the rest. Because my own clan started growing suspicious of my actions, such as not attending regular Uchiha meetings or not sharing more secrets than what I knew, they stopped trusting me. It was then I was ordered by the Sandaime, Hamura, Koharu, and Danzo to eliminate all of the Uchiha clan for the sake of the village. However, I held Sasuke close to my heart more than the others in my clan and pleaded with the Sandaime to keep him safe, because if he were to die I could have ended up becoming warped by our cycle of hatred and destroy the village myself. I made myself out to be the bad guy to my brother and encouraged him to get strong so that one day he could take revenge on me and become a hero to Konoha, putting himself at ease. Well, your plan ended up backfiring. Now he's on lockup for attempting to go nuke Nin. I know. Itachi said, looking guilty. So why did you suddenly up and join the Akatsuki? Did they pluck you off the road or tempt you with something? No. I joined it to protect Konoha. Protect Konoha, what are you getting at now? Naruto asked as he was getting more confused by the minute. The Akatsuki organization is my cover for a member in it is also an Uchiha who took part in not only igniting the flames of war in the Uchiha's hearts but for also releasing the Kyuubi on Konoha the night you were born. What? Who is it? Tell me who it is. Naruto demanded. He calls himself Tobi, but he is not who he appears or claims to be. If you come across him, be careful. How will I know who to be on the lookout for? He wears an orange mask. Itachi answered. Naruto spoke again, why should I even believe anything you've just told me right now? It could all just be an elaborate scheme planned out by the Akatsuki to lower my guard. Believe or don't believe, that's all up to you. I just wanted to warn you in case you were to run into any of us again, which I have no doubt you will. But I advise you to take my words to heart, Naruto. Sasuke may be in lockup, and you may be on the run from Root Umbu and Akatsuki, but remember this. You do have a friend in the enemy camp. See you around. He burst into multiple crows that flew off. Hey! Wait a second. Naruto called but knew he wasn't coming back. Kurama, do you believe all this? About the Uchiha clan's history and the massacre I cannot say. I do however believe his story about this man in a mask was the one who released me on Konoha that night 16 years ago. Kurama answered. What? How can that be? That night when you were born I was still sealed inside your mother. However, the seal binding me and her had been weakened while she was undergoing delivery. So while she was busy giving birth to you, your father had been trying to keep the seal strong in order to keep me from emerging. Though I do not know how, but someone had infiltrated the village and nabbed your mother. With the seal weakened, this masked man managed to force me out and I was free again. However, he put me in a hypnotic trance and forced me to attack the village. I agree with Itachi claiming it was an Uchiha who did it. No other mortal would have the kind of hypnotic power to do such a thing to me unless they had something like Sharingan. Then this masked man was the one who sicked you on the village, but what Itachi said about the village, and about the Uchiha clan. I want to believe it, but some part of me doesn't want to. Why would Gigi go along with such a desperate move? It's human nature for people to take desperate measures and risky actions when there is no other alternative. Even I know that much. And this ninja land seems to revolve around preserving peace for the sake of all villages. If you recall what your friend Niji said about his father giving up his life to avoid a war between Konoha and Kumo. Yes, I know. Tsunade Bazan, Kakashi, and even Ero Sennin would understand that and probably would have told me the same thing if they knew those kinds of secrets. So what are you going to do now that Itachi revealed himself to you? Tell Tsunade or Jiraiya? I don't think I should. After all, I'm still conflicted about believing Itachi. If Ba-san even went to the council because of that, there would probably be an outrage in the village and that could lead to more trouble for my friends and her. I won't burden her with that kind of news unless I find out it's all true. He thought as he flew back to the Fuma clan's village and went back inside his room. He looked, seeing Sasami and Kotoheim were still asleep and relieved they didn't feel he was gone. He slipped out of his clothes again and repositioned himself back in between the girls and yawned. I'll debate about this for another time. He said, drifting back to sleep, putting all he was told on hold for another time. Meanwhile, watching from a mountain was Itachi looking down on the village of the Fuma clan. Be safe, Naruto. He said before walking away. Chapter end. Alright, that's it for today's video, guys. Let me know in the comments section how was the story, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will meet you in another video. Peace out.